Okay, hello everybody and welcome back to Colquhoun Conquers, as we are currently in the middle of autumn of our first year after getting everything sorted out. And once again, much like real life, we're surrounded by rain. What are you going to do? Nobody really knows what the weather's doing at the moment. It's been kind of a bit ridiculous up here in Scotland. I don't know how it is in other parts of the world, but it's just been completely atypical year for us. It's been so dry for the first part, and then all of a sudden it's just chucking it down. There's storms every single day, you know. Who knows what's happening? But the main thing is that we're getting through it, and you know, it's all you can ask for really at sometimes. What I'm not so happy with is the fact that so much of our stuff unfortunately is getting left out in the rain quite as much, but people are busy. We've got an awful lot of tasks to do, we've got an awful lot of building tasks to do, so I guess I've got to cut them some slack. Now, one thing I was potentially thinking is we do probably want to build ourselves a vacancy sign just to, one, allow people to kind of come around, see what's happening inside here. It's going to cost us more twine, and I'm very loath to use up any of our twine because we need so much of it. Although I imagine we'll actually get a whole lot back once we start dismantling all of this straw, once we get access to our thatch. And that's going to be good. You better believe me, I'm going to enjoy that. Gosh, yeah, look how much it's flooded all these peat rows, but no matter, keep spading. Calm, you're off for a wee hunt. Good luck to you. Hopefully you bring back something nice to eat. That'd be good. Agnes is just cutting away this hay. There we are. Yeah, you can see the reduced yields for everything is definitely causing us to have an awful lot more work to do. One, we need a lot more resources, and like to get this twine, 10 twine costs 20 straw. Not that bad in the grand scheme of things, but you know, that does take some time to make. And I think probably actually that's the main thing, is the fact it takes 20 work time, 20 straw. Somebody's going to have to get the straw. Somebody's then going to have to make the twine. That's going to add up eventually. As far as this door goes, I'm kind of... I don't know what I'm kind of doing. I think I'm just building off feng shui kind of ideas, but I don't think we need to have it there. I think it'd actually make more sense if we kind of had a door either at the side here or kind of on the top. Potentially up the top, but also the side kind of makes sense. They both kind of make sense to me, actually. So I still don't know what kind of place it's going to be. We may just kind of make like little rooms potentially here, because I mean that could be good. Might be better use of this kind of space. We could build like some double beds, we could build some baby areas, you know. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. The more I'm thinking about it, you know, this place does give me like a place that people can come and, like, you know, stay in a little bit. Maybe needs to be a little bit longer actually. Now I'm having a wee look at it, I think all the way down to there. Yeah, let's get rid of these walls. No, cancel the build, rather. There we go. Now this is going to be slightly uneven, and that is going to annoy me ever so slightly. So no, maybe let's do that. This is me coming off the last episode, like, oh, I don't really care about that. It's, I do, but I don't, you know. I'm lazy. I think it's more what you can take from it. What we will do is, yeah, if we do this, I'm liking this. This is kind of taking shape a little bit more. I don't think this needs to be like that. Maybe we kind of have just like a funky kind of like bit in here for the corridor. There we go. Thatch roof, peat walls. Now this is going to change things, because if we have a little look, not only is this far less flammable, only requires less straw, but it does require the peat bricks, and it does require the tile, the logs, sorry. But we do get our twine back. So I am very, very convinced. I mean, let's kind of do things one at a time. So let's do... which one first? Let's do these bits here first. Let's see if we can get our twine back. If we can get our twine back, we're doing everything. Everything's going to be thatch roof. And in the meantime, we can have a little think about how we want stuff to go here, because we could probably use vents. We're going to need... somebody's room is going to have a stove in it in order to heat all this. I mean, unless we move like the kitchen down here, and this is just kind of like a larger house, but then because it is kind of a bit closer to the storage. I don't know. We're going to have a little think. Let's have a little think about what we want to do. We're going to need windows everywhere, obviously. That's just the way things go. So let's get a couple of windows. Let's also get some gravel paths down so that everybody can kind of walk around here. There we go. Good stuff. And we'll make sure all this is gravel as well, just for when we're moving up here. All right. Let's say work on this thatch roof quickly. Oh, sorry about that. The dog started barking, but unfortunately it allowed me to know that there was a guy with a package there. So it's always nice when that happens. Right, so where were we? Yeah, so Agnes, what are you doing sleeping again? I think her sleeping schedule is just very messed up. Probably Yeah, no wonder it's too bright. It's the middle of the day. You're acting more like I am than, you know, somebody from this time. You know, they're probably saying, come on, get to work. No, just a wee bit. Right, okay, so, oh yes, okay, so if we get our twine back, I think it's obviously going to take us some time. It's going to be a big investment in terms of, you know, manpower, getting all the peats dug, getting everything changed over. We probably don't want to do it in the winter, but if we can get some more twine back, twine takes an awful long time to make. And it seems to be a pretty big bottleneck when it comes to actually roofing our places. Look at that, that's already done. We've done it. That's fantastic. Let's have a little look at the walls. Peat walls. The log walls still make more sense to me. Logs are more plentiful than peat. Peat's more plentiful than twine, but logs are more plentiful than tweets? I don't think it's more plentiful than tweets. X is going off a lot. Do they still call them tweets on it? I don't know. I don't use the platform. I never have. But, you know, I'm just kind of thinking out loud. Never mind, Martin. You're doing the Lord's work, getting the weavery done. Making sure that we've got plenty of sackcloth for everything we need. Food stores are looking okay. We've got 5 days worth of food, which, given how we were doing at the end of episode 1, I'm very impressed by. You know, things have kind of really turned around for us. Let's go ahead and we'll start picking up some more of these mushrooms. You know, it's kind of getting towards the end of autumn. We need to make sure we remember about these neeps. I did say in the before that you're going to make sure that I remember. So if I don't, I'm holding you guys in the comments accountable. So keep that in mind. You are really, really unhappy. Why are you so unhappy? Now, you're really not happy because your sleep's getting disturbed. You are pessimist as well. And you also really don't like the fact of how much fur you're wearing. Sorry, Duncan, were you more happy when you didn't have any clothes? You know, come on. I remember you gallivanting around with nothing on you. Deary me. Right, let's make sure as well then in that case we're building ourselves a sack. A sack cloak, because that might unlock other things as well. We'll have to see, but I think we've pretty much got everything prepared. We probably want to make some more bottoms, because people are probably like, oh, well, I don't have any like bottoms on or anything like that, so something to keep in mind, because yeah, we've got the tunics. People are wearing shirts as well, they're wearing the fur stuff. But yeah, Duncan, how are you doing? So Duncan's mood is terrible. Yeah, he's grouchy. He's not been having very much fun. Did we not have a flute? I thought I did get a flute. We've only got 2. Yeah, there we go. Have a little play of the flute. And have a good time. Unfortunately, that's Callum. Callum's just kind of slacking off, I guess. He's just, you know, playing the flute constantly. Yeah, it's still quite dark at sunrise. Who's that? Duncan, finally. Yeah, there you go. Get yourself a wee bit of fun. There we go. Much better. Still haven't fixed up this clay bloomery, but we will get there. Let's break down some of these beds. And we'll keep on moving. Just keep on moving these straw mats across, and I think that'll do the trick. Yeah. Good stuff. Plenty of tasks. The task list getting back to its glory days of nearing 400 again. But, you know, it's all things that need to be done. A lot of it's to do with things like flooring and such, so, you know, we're not too worried about that. A lot picking mushrooms too. Let's have a little look around if we can see these animals that are making such a big racket. We've got some more beavers over there. I wonder if they'll be really helpful kind of over winter for keeping us fed. What is this over here? Kale. Interesting. I wonder if we maybe start sending some people over, because I'll probably want to get there. I definitely want to make sure I get the seeds in as well. So yeah, let's start getting some people to start gathering these, because I want to bring these in when we can. These winds, man. These winds are pretty nasty. I mean, Duncan's sitting there, he's complaining about the cold. This is a guy that's wearing a fur tunic and a fur hat. He probably could do with some other sack clothing, to be fair. So we'll get ourselves a sackcloth cloak, and we'll maybe start to build up some more shirts and stuff. But it just takes so long to weave all this stuff, to get it done. You know, this is probably what I was saying earlier, you know, we're going to make sure we move this stuff inside, and I've just completely neglected that. But, yeah, we probably will have to. Yeah, how are you guys doing? You're flooding ever so slightly. Yeah, you're really in a sort of flood area here. There we go. So now we can get ourselves our seed shelf, which is good. I think we just build that as soon as possible, please, because I really want to get that done. Let's make sure we've got plenty of bowls. Indeed we do. And now we have neep patches. Fantastic. We have got this seed stockpile here. which I think we actually say, let's not allow them to store normal things because they can move it over into the grain pallet. So raise the priority on that, please. And we can now also make ourselves some roasted neeps. Fantastic. They are not quite as good as eels, but at least it's something, you know, something edible. There we go. Right, okay, I really want these to be, so let us go ahead, clear this out, clear out this bit here, because I really want these. One, we're going to need these seeds for the future, if we want to grow any of our own neeps in the future. Then we're going to want to have these around, so let's get them hauled in, get them nice and get them safe. They are unfortunately in the room with the chickens for the moment, but no longer, because we'll be able to store them somewhere proper. At least here they can stay. Yes, there we go. Perfect. We're going to be much more on top, or I'm going to attempt to be much more on top of it when it comes to farming next year. I think we're going to really need it, especially with the higher difficulty. Right, let's get this bed moved on over and get it over here, please. As soon as possible. There we go. Good stuff. Over here, I actually, and this is, I don't want to call this exploity because I don't think that's the right word, but I certainly want to kind of move the thatch over here, or sort of remove the roof and make it a thatched roof here. One, because I want the twine, because of course I do, but also I want the temperature in here to drop. Outside it's 9.2, here it's 10, going down a wee bit, but it's holding its temperature a wee bit better. Ah, perfect. Jug pallets. Let's get a jug pallet as well, because I want to store, try and do as best as I can. We'll see. I want to try and make sure that this is as cool as possible. So for that, we're going to be obviously using ice jugs. With the settings we have, they're not going to be quite as effective as they were previously. It's a shame, but you know, them's the breaks. So we'll just have to see how things go forward. I think definitely a very nice change, because it was kind of ridiculous using like the sort of ice rooms, the cold rooms before. We could also use like sort of a mountain as well, but we're pretty far away from the nearest one. In here it's going to be quite nice and cool, especially once you mine into it, but it's a bit far away. It's going to take an awful long time to do that. Maybe in the future we'll do that, but again, they don't work quite as well as they used to. Apologies for that. Just having a wee sip of coffee. Not cold for once, surprising, but yeah, pretty nice. Duncan, what are you doing? You're just grabbing some stones because we need them for all of this stuff. Probably one thing that's slowing us down quite a lot is the fact we don't have many stones, it must be said, and we're actually out of dried peat, which isn't great. Does mean that we're gonna, you know, be lacking this a wee bit. I'm quite surprised nobody is really working the braiding spot, because it's quite important we get all of this stuff done. But hey ho, Callum in a pretty good mood. Let's have a little double check of everybody. Duncan's still really unhappy. That is a shame. And you're okay. The babies. Sophia's alright and Thomas is alright. Martin really doesn't want to work. And to be fair, it's probably mostly because he's a child. And his mood isn't too bad, so that's good. Agnes is alright. Yeah, her mood's okay. She's at least entertained and she's just chatting to people. Callum's having a great time. Sorry about that, the dog was starting to bark again. As I was saying, Callum's in the best mood at the moment, which is nice. He's obviously having a nice time. Gosh, look at that movement speed. So bad in the sort of floodplains here. We're really going to have to watch out for this in the future. And kind of like, you know, maybe just kind of build around it and not really kind of come over these areas. Yeah, it's really bad over here. Look at all this flood water, man. Definitely very cool. I wonder if that, unfortunately, where we're kind of growing our stuff doesn't appear to be affected by the floodwater. I imagine all these plants are soaking up, you know, taking up what they can. Apologies for that noise. Don't quite know what happened there. I think that was me attempting to imitate what happens when plants soak up water. So, yeah, a little bit odd. Where are we going from here? Well, it's day 18. We're nearly at winter. Things are looking okay. Actually, let's be frank. Things are looking okay. Decent. Not great, but certainly decent. Let's go over here. We'll see if we can harvest up this kale. Mostly, no, I don't want to mine the gravel. Let's maybe cancel that job. It's quite a far way to travel. It's across the floodplains, it's across the bog, but it's a type of seed that we don't quite have yet. I would really like to have a collection of seeds if we can possibly help it. Especially because it's like we have the neep seeds here, they're decent quality, we've got plenty of hay seeds, we've got plenty of oat grains. I say plenty of oat grains, we don't actually have that much. Is there any more oats? I mean, fortunately there's oats that we are growing ourselves, they should help. Some more here, you say? Interesting. Interesting. We'll leave that for just now. What are these? Onions. Let's get ourselves some onions. We're going on a little bit of a, you know, seeds and veggie hunt. Because we want to try and get as much of this as we can so we're ready for next year. Because we're going to probably need it to help us out. That is so much oats. That's basically like a... That's like a field. that's like a field I didn't even have to do anything about. This is great. There we go. Cool. So we managed to get our onions, so... Nice. This should definitely help us keep our chickens out over the winter as well. And I'm quite enjoying the fact that we haven't had to, you know, just manually kill a bunch of stuff because we only got the 2 hens. So we'll definitely keep that in mind. They will, of course, eventually become old and they'll stop laying and they will, well, die. Well, so we'll have to get rid of them. Or, no, get rid of them. We'll have to get more of them. No, the exact opposite of what I said. But that's something for future us. That's once we get some money under our belt, once we kind of, you know, are able to produce a lot more. Once we have this kind of space for it, that's going to be a big help. The fact that we've unlocked onion patches is great. There we go. Let's get that all cut down. Agnes and Anne really kind of getting to it. Getting the work done. Ladies are getting it done. You ain't got wee Thomas around here. He's here to... I don't know, I guess he's supervising at the moment. Yeah, he's having fun adventures. There you go. He's having fun. Sophia's here as well. Oh, look, it's a whole family. Great stuff. Right, so let's get... I want to get these onion seeds back as soon as possible. Because I want to keep them nice and protected. So we can now... Oh, look at that wind. Oh, gosh, that wind. Oh, these effects, man. I am really enjoying these effects. They are so good. Look at the wind on the water. I think they've really kind of outdone themselves with how things are kind of looking. You know, I'm really kind of enjoying it. It's just little things like that, you know. You're such seeing like the leaves being blown on the trees. The rain comes down. Everything just looks like home. Because much like real life, it is raining yet again. Never mind. But yeah, we managed to get our onions, which are good. I wonder if we maybe think about cooking some of this up. How are we doing? We got the neeps and we got the onions. We can only roast them. We can't do anything to kind of store them for a bit longer. And given the fact, I mean, how are we doing for this stuff? I mean, we've got our raw eels. We're maybe actually getting a little bit too many eels. How are our... Yeah, I think our fishing areas are getting a little bit depleted. So we're what? We're getting 20 eels a day? Yeah, 20 eels a day. I mean, you would think that would be not enough for this many people, but I guess it is. I guess it is. Right, this sleep mat's getting done, so we're very slowly but surely kind of getting these sleeping areas done. So let's break these down. We've got enough straw, it's just having the braiding spot done. I think it's more as well, it's like people are cold. People are struggling, you know? So what can we do about that? We've obviously got our tunics, we've got fur hats, we've got fur cloaks. Let's make sure that we've got our sackcloth bottoms and our sackcloth shirts. I think we just have to do that. You know, they're not nice to wear. They're not nice to kind of, you know, have on you, but it's just kind of what we need to do. Sophia, what are you worried about? It's too bright. Okay. Guess you're not afraid of the dark at least, but no wonder it's too bright. It's daylight. Get out of bed. Get to work. What I always say. There we go. Yeah, so Martin's kind of making some more sacks. It's good. We're going to need a lot of them. It's probably where we're using a lot of our twine as well, to be perfectly honest, but I mean, at least it's worth it. How's our peat doing? So we've mined out all the peat. Well, not mined out, but we've cut out all the peat. And we're doing fairly well. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that we want to have certainly some more rooms for people. Like we're going to have... Oh, now this is interesting. We could have a much bigger kind of area. This could be for one family, and it could just be a production area for what they're good at, but I feel like that would mean that they'd be pretty isolated. I Initially that sounded kind of intriguing to me, and I thought it could be potentially a good idea, but I also think it could be quite bad. So yeah, maybe not. Now we do have access to floor mats for keeping the floors clean, but I don't think these care, these straw floors, about that, because they are kind of, you know, at least partially made out of dirt, so I don't think they really care. Have we gone anywhere near these bits here? No, we have not. I think that's going to be tomorrow's job. I think I actually do want you guys to just do that tomorrow for me, because that would mean that we'd have pretty much everything, yeah, because that's the kale. We would have access for next year, we'd have neeps, we'd have onions, and we'd have kale, as well as the oats, as well as the everything else. We haven't really even kind of cut anything along here, which I think is also quite bad. There's a lot of last minute cutting I kind of want to do, which is also not ideal. Let's build that last sleeping mat as well. And we've still got the bloomery to get done as well. There's an awful lot of stuff that needs to be done, and I feel like there's not that much time left to do it, but we'll see. We will see. Yeah, I say there's not much time left to do it as you look at outside, and it is a-snowing. This is going to be probably the last chance we're going to get. Yeah, I can't tell if it wants to actually snow or if it wants to rain. As much as I want those oats, I think I want the kale a little bit more, just to ensure that we definitely have time to grow it tomorrow. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, get to work, everybody. Let's make sure that you can get your stuff done and then go from there. Oh, it's getting darker. It's getting colder as well. Look at that wind chill. The rain, the wind. Duncan, he's cold, he's pessimistic, and I would be if I was him. Well, at least he's able to play the flute a wee bit. He's barely spoken to anybody, he's barely had any fun. He keeps crapping his pants, you know. Awful. Terrible. Terrible existence, but what do you do? There's a couple of lightning strikes. Fortunately, nothing really near us, which is good. If they can keep that way, that'd be great. It's an awful long way to kind of get over here. There's some deer there. That's quite good to know. Yeah, it's cold. It's a cold, cold autumn day. This is almost like the last kind of time you want to be doing this. Yeah, you are already thinking you'll come back. But that does mean that we get kale. And that's huge. Because we're going to have kale seeds for next year. So we're going to properly... I'm just making sure there wasn't another fire that was around about us. I mean, that's not that far from us. Probably staying around all these trees isn't a good thing in a lightning storm. But, yeah, we'll kind of have to keep that on the back burner for now. How are we doing, chickadees? Good girls are alright, which is good. Just getting things done. That's all we need. We're just cutting down the last of this kale. Yeah, your Duncan's freezing himself out. He is not happy, but he hasn't lost any of his health, which is good, because at least he's well fed. Right, let's get all this stuff together. And I want to make sure that we say to somebody, hey, someone needs to come and grab this kale for us. The whole reason we went out there was for those kale seeds. I mean, look at that. Look at those neep seeds. Look at those onion seeds. Exactly what we're wanting. Especially for next year. How are you folks doing here? Yeah, you are done. So let's say to them, I mean, they're automatically harvesting these ones, but let's say, yeah, guys, we want you to harvest. We also want this to be max, because we're going to want the seeds. We're going to want this stuff here. Obviously, we've got all these oats as well that we can kind of think about harvesting. We've got today, we've maybe got tomorrow. We'll see. I can't think of anything worse of, like, obviously it's like, I think it would be a bit too harsh of the game to say, like, oh, you can't really harvest these in rain, even though you kind of can. Because they're all just going to get, like, you know, sodden and horrible. But, like, yeah, I imagine it would make the game a lot harder if you then had to, like, dry your stuff as well. We'll leave this double there. Don't think we need to worry about that. Good stuff. Cool. Perfect. Excellent. In fact, that's actually just excellent. We've managed to get all of that stuff there. We've added it to the haystack. You know, just all of your stuff together. We've got loads of hay, which is good. We've got some oat sheaths as well. Just gonna go through that. We should be fine. Let's get rid of these stuff here because we don't need to store that inside. The charcoal I will allow. I'm not going to bother storing these hides as well because we can store them obviously in our hide shelf. twine, sackcloths, and sacks we will potentially keep about. And we're making sure that we're keeping everything looking quite nice too. Still need more twine. Someone could get on that, that'd be nice. But I imagine they'll get on that in a second when they get the chance. And admittedly, that's something we can do over the winter months, is we can sit there and we can just, you know, braid a couple of things when and as it is needed. I feel quite bad as well because we're using up an awful lot of twine to make up these, well, the shirts, etc. But it's definitely needed. And obviously a lot of it's being used to make the actual sackcloth itself, which I think is probably where we're losing it all in reality. But if we can reclaim some of it, then that'll be good. I do not think we'll be redoing the roof of the main area this winter. I think that's probably going to, you know, cause somebody to die. But yeah, we'll think about that. Let's actually say, hey, let's render up some tallow, because it is saying that is good for unlocking some extra things. We just haven't done it yet. We have the bowls. It is not quite as good as meat, but it does give the meat as well. So yeah, let's just say, hey, cook yourself up a storm with some tallow, and if we have less than say 10 cooked meat, then cook up some cooked meat just so we can keep the meat going. Yeah, that's good. How are we doing for branches? Yep, sanity check, we're doing okay. Doing alright for branches, that's good. Any mushrooms that we can gather before the end of autumn is all. There's a lot. There's a lot. We have a lot of days of food because of it. I'm feeling optimistic about this, which is good. It's exactly what you want. Do we have enough water jugs is the other question. I think we do. What's wrong with you? Ah, okay, you're getting too cold. That's a problem. For some reason I thought it was the actual jug itself was going to break. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we managed to get our stuff done. What's this? A corner log place to play decorations on a table. Okay, cool. I like it. Yeah, so we can make a rushlight kit if we want. Could be useful if we're going to have anything in here. I mean, potentially if we're going to move things about, that'd be quite good to have here. This straw pile doesn't need to be indoors, but it's quite handy to be indoors just so it's next to the thresher. So keep that in mind. Everybody else having a nice time. How's everybody's mood doing? Duncan? Still not great. Yeah, it's because you're not actually talking to anybody. That's your problem. You just keep crapping your pants and then running away. Anne's having a nice little play of the old flute. And then she's going to head off to sleep. Looks like we've got a wee bit of a blizzard rolling in, so I don't know how much harvesting we're going to be doing tomorrow. We shall see. We'll see how much this, or if this snow does last. Look at that wind chill. We haven't even reached winter yet, we're at -11. I can definitely see in the difficulty settings when they say, oh yeah, we're going to make things a bit colder. You're making things colder. And I guess when you add on the wind chill effects, well, it's cold, man. It's actually cold. We've got to have this peat stove and this cooking fire on, and we're getting about 17 degrees. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. But, you know what? We'll do what we can. I wonder if we're almost at the point where we want to keep these on as well and just keep them roaring through the night. Maybe. And getting to that point. What's this stuff here that's like complaining about being in the cold? It's not, I can't even really see. Ah, it can't be anything that important, can it? No. Never mind. Last day of autumn. The snow doesn't appear to have, you know, stayed. In fact, it seems to turn back into rain, as is the usual. But I guess that means more time for collecting the goodies. How are we doing in terms of seeds? We've got plenty of hayseed, to be fair. Loads of hayseed. So we're not having to worry about that, at least. So that's good. What else do we have? We've got, obviously, the oats that we potentially are gonna harvest today, but we'll see. Duncan having a little bit of fun. He's having a little bit of a chat. That's good. That should at least improve his mood ever so slightly. Especially if he's able to get just a little bit of sleep on top of that. Yeah, because he's really not sleeping very well here. Makes sense if he keeps getting disturbed in the middle of the night. Poor guy. Poor guy. There you go, Martin. You just keep on braiding, son. Doing the work that we need to get done. While we get some more bowls on the go. Especially now we got some tallow. Which will be good. Decent amount of meat. It's been stored up. Really decent amount of vegetables as well. I'm quite happy with how much food we have. So these are cooled. So they're actually getting better. Or I wonder if it's more just to offset the getting old buff. But it is good that they're a bit cooler, so you know they're holding their stats a bit longer. Same with these. They are spending a little bit less time rotting, which is good, so we should hopefully be able to keep them around for a little bit longer. That would be nice. How are we doing tool-wise? It seems like we're doing okay. Yeah, we've got plenty of sickles, got plenty of hoes. We obviously got peat spades as well. How are we doing up here? Yep, we're cutting down these oat sheaths and processing them. I suppose the one nice thing, if there's any positive about producing less resources, is that there should be less hauling tasks. And given that there's actually less hauling tasks than there are building tasks, that's one good thing. However, they are also the second most tasks that we have available to us. So, I guess maybe partially. Potentially. Who knows? How are we doing in terms of clothes? Duncan's still got his, he's still rocking his fur tunic and his fur hat, so keep that going. Does anybody else wearing the stuff? I guess it makes sense that we're kind of giving the clothes to the babies, I suppose. Everybody else just rocking. Ah, except for Callum. Callum's just stolen some sackcloth bottoms, I suppose. Some leader you are. Never mind. Main thing is we're slowly but surely getting them out. It's just taking a while with the twine. Martin has got enough clothes. I mean, I guess it kind of pays to be the one to be making it, but he's got enough clothes that he's not feeling too bad in terms of his warmth, so he's actually able to just kind of like keep things going, which is nice. That's kind of what you want to happen. I'm thinking I potentially want to move some of these things here. Obviously, this simple workbench is nice, but I don't think that actually needs to be under a bench. No, it does not. So it doesn't need to be under this kind of area. This area is for stuff that needs to be covered, otherwise it can't work. So where could we put it? I mean, where that haystack is would be perfect. We obviously can't put it there. I wonder if we maybe pack it up and we maybe put it out over here. It's a little bit further away, admittedly, I do know. But we pop that over there and we can maybe just think about putting down something like a clothing storage, just so when it comes to actually hauling stuff, it goes a little bit better. Yeah, I think we do that. Let's do that. Let's get textile basket over here. I mean, if we really want to be playing with it, what we do is we would pick this up. Give it big thing to pick this up, pop it down one space across. Like so. And then pop down the storage. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Doesn't actually... Oh, I'll need some sackcloth to be fair. But it doesn't need any twine, which is good. Yeah, we're using up a lot of this sackcloth to make these shirts, but they are needed. They're certainly needed. A lot more than the sackcloth cloak at the end of the day. We've been very, very fortunate the fact that we've been able to get so much fur so quickly as well, although it would be nice to get a wee bit more. It's just finding the time for it. There's some beavers to the east, so we're going to have to remember that. There's some lovely deer, which I think we must hunt now. Because they're probably going to start moving, especially once all the grass dies, they're going to move off pretty quick. We're going to be ready for that. We got some seeds. That's good. I'm liking the fact that we got so much seeds. But over here, it would be nicer if I could guarantee that the animals couldn't eat what I didn't want them to eat, but they cannot. So, never mind. I mean, they can get through that curtain anyway, so we'll have to keep that in mind. Lovely little evening. End of autumn. I wish it was the end of winter. That would be nice, but the winds finally died down. It's only a 5-degree wind chill. It's still pretty bad. But Duncan at the very least can, you know, he can sit there and he can warm up. He can be a little bit happier, hopefully. He has got another piece of clothing, so that's good. Slowly but surely we'll get people dressed, and that'll mean that we can actually get work done in the winter. Because as things are going, it's getting pretty chilly. But at the very least we have the food. We don't have enough food for the whole of winter, so we will have to rely on meat. We'll have to rely on hunting. We'll probably have to hunt these badgers down in the depth of the cold, because we're going into winter and we only have 7 days of food. Now, that's not to say that we couldn't use, like, say, some of our plentiful oats. We've got a lot of oat sheaf that we can use if we want to. That's quite the ominous calling of wolves as winter sets in. We'll have to see. Hopefully we'll be alright. I think it's going to be not a particularly productive winter. I think it's going to be quite harsh. People are already quite unhappy. But we'll have to see how we do. Will the family be able to get through this mess? We'll have to see. Will the babies be alright? Well, at least this one managed to make it to the bathroom. So there's that, at the very least. But yeah, we can only see what we can do. Potentially, between the wolf howls, we might be able to get some of this house done. But we'll just have to see. Coming to day 21. The first day of winter, and with wind chill, it feels like -16. Yowza. Alright guys, good luck for the winter, but I think this is where we're going to call this episode here, so I want to say thank you very much for watching. Apologies, there's been a couple of cuts and interludes in this one. Dog barking, that kind of thing, you don't want to hear that. Well, at least I don't think you do. If you do, don't mind, you know, I'll leave that in, but probably best to cut it out. But yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode and this series of Clanfolk, and hopefully you enjoy the videos going forward. If you do enjoy the videos and you want to support the channel and want to support us further, then consider becoming a member of the Burger Band, which we also want to say thank you very much to all the members of the Burger Band supporting the channel, supporting us getting videos out like this, supporting all the other stuff that we do as well. All very deeply appreciated. You can do that through YouTube, gives you a couple of benefits. You're able to see videos as soon as they're uploaded, rather than when they're scheduled to come out, so it might mean you can see them a couple of days quicker, if that's what you want to do. But also, more importantly, they help us out, and that is the main thing. Additionally, just want to say thank you very much to everybody who's been watching this series, been watching the other ones, and enjoying what we do. It really does mean the world to me that you guys are enjoying this quite as much as you are. But yeah, just want to say thank you very much for watching. Until the next time, take care. Let's hope we can make it through the winter.